A note from Emmett about the Safety Advisory Council, the infamous council, that people are blowing out of proportion, even though from my own formal business background, I know that this is a focus group. That's what it is. It's a focus group. It's being used to generate opinions and feedback. Collect opinions and feedback. Whether Twitch does anything with it or not is completely up to Twitch. It's all them. And yet people are like, these are elite people. And then there's the whole thing with Ferociously Steph, where she's acting like that Twitch did something special. Look, as far as the Steph thing goes, am I the only person anywhere, am I the only person anywhere on this platform that thinks that maybe Steph just didn't know what she signed up for? So, that maybe that she didn't know that maybe that this wasn't as elite as she might have thought, that she was just kind of making it bigger than it actually was. Am I the only person giving her the benefit of the doubt that maybe she was just spouting off some stuff on her stream when in reality she didn't really know that this is just an advisory thing? You know, speaking of that word, advisory, there's actually, it's kind of like when a college or university gives an honorary degree. It's kind of a nice little PR move and stuff, but there's in corporate America, there are times and situations where somebody's position, no matter how prestigious it sounds, is advisory only, or of counsel, or something along those lines. AKA, they're used for feedback, but they don't have any real power. So, well, we have advisory and counsel both listed here. So it's just knowing the buzzwords of business, man. So you can tell who's just trying to generate traffic to their page because of this. Because anybody who's, I don't want to say they're suckers and they fell for it, but, you know, all this hoopla about what this council is going to do, we can see right now. I mean, if you know anything about business, you know this is nothing big. That's just the way it works. But not the folks that have been going around trying to drive traffic and stuff. Let's take a look at this. Last week, we announced the formation of our Safety Advisory Council, a group of online safety experts and Twitch creators that we brought together to advise on issues related to trust and safety at Twitch. We've since seen a lot of discussion and questions as well as some concerns. Well, I think the concerns are a good thing, and all the discussion is a good thing, because it means that the user base cares about what this thing is and what this thing does. So I'd say that's a big plus for Twitch. And I want to provide some clarity to help everyone understand our thinking about the council's role and what we're doing next. The role of the council is to advise, offer perspective, and participate in discussions with our internal teams pertaining to the work we do to keep the community safe and healthy. Focus group. We made an intentional choice to recruit advisors with strong independent opinions and the courage to challenge our thinking. So yeah, that keeps the meetings from being boring, and if you want feedback, sometimes you gotta bring folks who are really amped up about that. The question I have with the success of the strong independent opinions piece is, what's the meeting schedule? Last I heard, it was basically a conference call once every couple of months or something. And if it's just an hour or something with 8 people who are very strongly, who have very strong opinions, how is any of them going to get a decent amount of speaking time to, just from the mathematics alone, 1 hour with 8 people with strong opinions and an opening and a closing? How much time do these people really have to let themselves be heard? It's going to take some really serious work in taking what you're looking for and making it concise in order to amount to anything there, especially if there's a hard cap on how long these meetings are. So, I've been involved in safety committees with the 9-to-5ers I worked for over the years, and that's one of the things I ran into, at least with them, is that their meetings would go longer if more people had more stuff to talk about. But if the phone gets hung up after an hour, or there's some kind of parliamentarian or something, or someone in there to keep the discussion moving and to not let any one person monopolize all the time, how exactly is this going to work in terms of getting a lot of feedback? I would say for anybody that's on this council, only have one short thing to bring up in about 20 seconds or less, and then take discussion afterwards. That's the only chance these people have. So again, the system, how does it work? And it's not as powerful as people think it is. Let's keep on reading. Our goal is to hear a wide range of points of view informed by truly different people within Twitch and outside Twitch, because a position on the council is not a test of ideology or an endorsement. Maybe I was right about that earlier. By Twitch on a specific viewpoint. We expect that members of the council sometimes have very different viewpoints from each other, from Twitch staff members, or from the official Twitch policy. A couple of things here. Not an endorsement by Twitch. Well, that shuts that down, because I have seen the clip where, haha, I have power now. Again, you can't know can you know for certain if somebody's malicious or not from a couple of clips on Twitch, minus their context? I'm not so sure about that. I'm still open to the idea that this Steph person who's been ruffling all these feathers could just not have known. That she might not have really known exactly what she was getting into and then blew it out of proportion on her stream. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt on that one. So let's see here. Now here's the next issue here. We expect that members of the council will sometimes have very different viewpoints from each other, Twitch staff members, or from the official Twitch policy. I don't believe that, because there's also something in business that applies here. And it's the unfortunate side effect of the way this thing is with all of these streamers, is that they're all involved in the platform, so they have something to lose if anything happens to their accounts or whatnot, because of something they say in these meetings. In corporate America, if you read policies and HR stuff, you'll eventually run into a little something called the appearance of impropriety, which is something you want to avoid. Basically, anything that could give your company some bad publicity you don't want your employees doing. So, the appearance of impropriety can apply to lots of itty-bitty details. So, for example, let's say you run a large company, and one of your site managers running a place with about 50 associates. So, you have a site manager running a site with about 50 associates working for them, and one of the vendors buys them a cake because they love their business relationship. There needs to be guidelines on whether or not the manager can accept that, and whether or not the manager will be forced to share that cake with their team instead of keeping it for themselves. Why? The appearance of impropriety. You don't want to have your people doing stuff that makes the company look bad, that they don't know is making the company look bad, because not everybody has the huge background in public relations that your officially endorsed people in the company who do this stuff have. It's also why one of the easiest ways to get fired from a large company is to speak for the company when you're not authorized to do so. It can be very dangerous. You can encounter everything from bad press to sales going through the toilet to lawsuits, all kinds of other stuff. There's all kinds of things that can happen in large businesses if the wrong person acts like a representative of the company when they shouldn't. That's why a couple of years ago, when What's-Her-Face over at ArenaNet was getting a little too ramped up on social media, that's why I agreed with her dismissal from ArenaNet with the whole Guild Wars 2 thing earlier. Because not just the behavior that she exhibited, but also just her professional position as well. When you're dealing with companies like this, that's what you're trying to avoid. So the reason why the appearance of impropriety is so important is because you don't want people to even get the wrong idea about your products, your services, your company, your people, anything. And so because of that, companies are usually very tenacious about all of this, because in a case where you might have a conflict of interest, like for example, that manager kind of eating a bunch of cake in his office that he got from a vendor without sharing it with the team, or accepting a high dollar reward from a vendor that policy says they should not accept. Now, if you have somebody doing that, it might look like, the reason why you have these policies, because just with who they are, it sends a message or it makes the company look bad or something along those lines. The fact that it's a site manager doing that is a problem. So, because of this, and the big company influence that I know exists within Amazon, and it affects their culture, I do not expect this, in blue here, to actually happen on a regular basis, because just the fact that these are Twitch streamers, some of them with large followings that have something on the table that they can lose if Twitch does anything in response to whatever they do on there, even under the guise of a pretext, which if you're also familiar with large companies, you'll know what a pretext is. Pretexts, or well, not even that, but you'll have seen one of them. Pretexts are when something happens and the reason why it happens is not the real reason it happened. So, but you try and you try and cover your ass, so to speak, by coming up with a different reason or something like that. People do this to each other all the time. Flipping it in reverse, employees to companies. There are employees who will hate their job, but they'll resign and they'll say, such and such gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. Or, I'm going to switch to this other company because it's closer to my kid's school or something along those lines. So that may be the reason that goes down on the exit interview paperwork or whatever that gets filed with HR. But at the same time, it's not the real reason they left. They left because they hated the job or they hated somebody in the company or something like that. They just chose to have a different reason as the official reason. So we expect that members of the council will sometimes have very different. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think just by nature of the makeup of this group that can happen. And Twitch brought this upon themselves with their exclusivity for things like, for example, affiliates. The monopoly agreement that you basically agree to when you become an affiliate locks you down to Twitch a little, probably even more so as a partner, but I haven't seen some of these agreements that are out there for the partners. But because Twitch has this, you don't have a lot of people out there who are on multiple platforms like this. There's one streamer I follow, her name's Megan Yeah. She's a multi-platform streamer who streams on Mixer, YouTube, and Twitch, and one other, I forgot what it was, at the same time. She's not even an affiliate on here. If you look at her VODs, they don't go back 14 days. So and I think by virtue of the policy, she'd never be an affiliate. So Twitch, in a sense, did this to themselves with some of this stuff where they want to lock you to the platform. So this is just rotten fruit from some unintended consequences of some business decisions that Twitch made. And there's people out there, I think there'd probably be better stuff if you had more multi-stream type folks. And they'd actually probably bring better perspectives because they will have experienced, what it's like to stream on Mixer, what it's like to stream on YouTube, what it's like to stream on Facebook. If Twitch wasn't so aggressive against multi-streaming through their policies, like the affiliate contract or the affiliate agreement and stuff. So, in a sense, some of this where this council's not going to be able to do very much is the direct result of decisions that Twitch has already made. And if this landscape changes, maybe something like this could be more capable of getting what it needs to get done. But I just don't see that here. We recognize that hearing from a diverse set of voices is valuable in crafting products and policies to serve our entire community. We said in our blog post we were looking for the council to advise in a variety of things, from advising on new policies, promoting healthy streaming habits. That's huge. And I've seen streamers really destroying their sleep schedules lately. And quite frankly, there needs to be work-life balance stuff on Twitch from what I've been seeing from some of these big folks lately. But we could have been clear about tasks the council will not be involved with. Council members will not make moderation decisions, yay, nor will they have access to any details on specific moderation cases, nor should they. That's a privacy thing. They are not Twitch employees. Yeah, that again. Same thing with YouTube. YouTubers are treated like independent contractors with some stuff. You look at the paperwork for what it means when you get your channel monetized. And they do not speak on Twitch's behalf. That's the big one. Just got done talking about that. Not speaking for the company if you're not authorized to do so. There you go. While we value their opinions and the right to share them, they are independent actors who will have opinions that aren't shared either by Twitch employees, or even by other members of the council. Nevertheless, we believe that having diverse viewpoints will make the council and its recommendations stronger and ultimately better for the community. So we can take a closer look at what the issue is with this whole council in the first place. We can pick it apart all we want, but at least there's a statement on this. But I expect companies to make statements. All participants care deeply about the community and all the people that have responded to it as well. That's why there's such an uproar about it, and want to help make it a better place. It's a commitment of time and energy from them, and we're grateful for their contribution to help us improve Twitch policy. Harassment directed at council members or anyone at or on Twitch only underscores the importance of the council. We do not condone bullying or harassment of any kind, and will continue to take action against accounts who engage in that behavior. At the heart of a safety advisory council and all of our work at Twitch is the desire to foster a safe, inclusive, and creative community of passionate people. Foster a safe, inclusive, creative. You'll find that in employee handbooks at large companies too. So that's not Twitch specific. It's just something companies try to do. As with every other community, there will be disagreements and differing points of view, and we are committed to considering a diversity of perspectives as we work to help keep our communities safe and healthy. So here's the thing. Some people may think that it's some personal thing, that there's some viewpoints that Twitch doesn't want on their platform, but it's also a matter of business, quite frankly. You'll lose potential customers and user bases if you become known that such and such people aren't welcome here. So, as much as it's impossible to please everybody, companies will very often try to do precisely that, even though it's impossible. Just to put in the effort, because there's a compelling business reason to be open-minded, and listen to what other people, including people who disagree with you, have to say.